Now, unfortunately, I did not make it to the cinema this week for many reasons. So today I have two reviews of two movies you can stream right now. Welcome to another movie review. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave my movie reviews playlist linked up above for you. So yes, I did stream two different movies this week, and I am bringing my thoughts on them to you here. One of them I am slightly late to the game in. I did actually not watch this week, but I wasn't going to review it for you, but then I wanted to because you can stream it right now. This one is on Netflix and it is Don't Look Up. So this one features it is fiction, but it features a very real situation about an asteroid heading for, or a meteor, can't remember which, heading for Earth, and it is big enough that it is definitely going to destroy the Earth, and scientists have discovered the exact sort of date and time that it is going to destroy the Earth, and they are trying to convince the president Meryl Streep, to actually do something about it. Now, I say that this one is supposedly fictional because everything that happens in this film is so close to the bone. It is so close to what would actually happen, apart from the sort of perhaps Hollywood stardom look of a lot of the people involved. So this one has so many big names attached to it. You'll have seen the memes going around online of this is what 18 Oscar and Golden Globe nominations or whatever it is looks like in one room, sat around one table. So it has the biggest names attached to it, and it has the length of a Netflix film that is hoping to be up for Oscar contention. It is definitely on the longer side. I do feel like this film could have been cut to a hour and a half, hour and 3/4 length film, or even stopped at the 2 hour limit and it would have been fine. There are definitely some moments where there are details that we don't really need to know about, or perhaps cutaways that we didn't really need at that point, and so I think they could have definitely pared down the length of this film. I think that it was worth them spending all this money on the stars that they got? I don't know. I think this film would have worked equally well with less stars to its name. I think they've obviously really gone with the budget of we need all these people, and not necessarily gone with the budget of we're going to have some sort of really good sets and special effects, because it wasn't particularly visually appealing. It was fine, and I think the cinematography definitely fitted with the general mood of it. It is satirical. It is a black comedy. Definitely some dark humour in there, some really dark humour, and it felt a little bit like watching Bombshell, which I absolutely loved and definitely should have got more Oscar nominations than it did a couple of years ago, but it felt a little bit like watching that, in that it almost feels like it could be true, and it almost feels like this did happen, except the meteor didn't hit Earth and we're all still here. But yeah, I thought it was really interesting, the sort of route that they decided to take, and then just more and more big names kept popping up. Obviously, I knew that there were a lot of names attached to it. I had set the little reminder thing on Netflix to remind me when this came on, because did it come on Christmas Eve, I think? And yeah, so watched it all the way through. Could gladly have stopped before it finished. I don't think it was anything groundbreaking. I don't think it was particularly funny, and if I'm honest, it was a little bit too close to home for me, and a little bit like too much of what would actually happen, and so it did make me a bit mad. And so I'm saying you never really want to watch a film that makes you mad, but then I do enjoy documentaries about real things that make me mad, and I did enjoy like Green Book and Vice, and both of those also made me mad, so that's a lie, but like it wasn't necessarily the film that I wanted to watch over the festive period. If you have seen this one, do let me know your thoughts on it, because I just feel like I didn't dislike it, I didn't really like it. It was like, it was fine. Would I recommend it to you to watch? If you want to see what all the hype is about, You can watch it. Am I recommending it as something that I think that you should watch? No, it's definitely not a recommendation from me. There's been a couple of people asked if it's worth the time, and I'm like, no, definitely not. And then I watched Save the Cinema. Again, I believe this came on sometime between Christmas and New Year, sometime over the Christmas holidays. And this is a Sky original, and this is based on a true story. So we have something that's like not actually factual, but looks like it could be. And then this one that I almost had to keep reminding myself that it was based on a true story, because I was like, oh, did that really happen? Did it? So this one is set in Carmarthen in Wales, and is around the cinema. Did I say Save the Theatre? Save the Cinema. I did say Save the Cinema. Based around this cinema / theatre that is the sort of heart of the town. And our sort of drama leader is somebody that grew up performing in that theatre at school, and so really understands the impact that it has on the community and the impact it has on the young people in the community as well. Some of her young people that come and act with her could be getting into a lot more trouble were they not with her, and she has her sons involved in the sort of team effort as well, which is really lovely. And then we have this sort of subplot of the fact that the mayor is wanting to tear down the theatre and build a shopping centre. And then we have Tom Felton's character, who comes along as a new councilman and doesn't really agree with what the mayor is doing. So we've got this kind of small town politics thing going on, this like save part of the community thing going on. And then one of the things that they decide to do in order to try and save the cinema is to get a big premiere to come and to attract a lot of hype around it, and hope that that will bring in some money and bring in some press attention as well. And that film is Jurassic Park, and that is not a spoiler because it is very much in the trailers. This film is set in and around 1993, and I had to keep reminding myself of that as well. It was like, well, why aren't they just texting each other? It's set in and around 1993, and so there's everything that comes with that as well. It was a nice little kind of throwback to the 90s and to 90s cinema and to 90s fashion, and to 90s fashion in somewhere that is not perhaps as up and coming as when you've watched films set in London or Los Angeles or New York around that time. And so it was really interesting seeing the makeup and hairstyling as well as the costumes. I think that those departments definitely deserve a mention in this particular film, because I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. This is one of those films that you would definitely 100% give the label heartwarming to. It was very heartwarming. It was very sweet. It was very honest. And there's some cracking acting going on in it as well, that these characters seem so passionate about what they're doing, and that really comes through and really comes across on the screen. And the fact that it's based on a true story, I do feel like the people that this actually happened to, I feel like they sort of did them proud with the film. When you sort of have a biopic and you're like, oh, that was a bit controversial, are they going to be happy with that? I feel like the real people that this happened to would definitely be very happy with this film. And so if you are looking for a little something to settle down with on a Friday night, with watch with your dinner or your cup of tea, or watch in bed with your cup of tea, you've got to have a cup of tea with it, then this is definitely something worth watching. Would I have gone to see it in the cinema? Now, the fact that this has quite a few similarities, I feel like, to Dream Horse, not just the fact that it's set in Wales, but the whole community coming together, underdog type of story. And I went to see that in the cinema, and I enjoyed watching that in the cinema. I think that this film would be lovely on the big screen. Now, it is a Sky original, and so it is, it would never have sort of been on the big screen, but I think it would have been a really nice one. So out of the two, I definitely feel like you should spend your evening watching Save the Cinema and not Don't Look Up. But I mean, out of the two which would have got onto the big screen, obviously Don't Look Up would have got onto the big screen because it's got all the names attached to it. However, I think that Save the Cinema would have been nice on the big screen and would have given me those Dream Horse feels. I will leave my review of Dream Horse in the end screen for you in case you have missed that one, because it's another sort of heartwarming, wholesome, community spirited type of film. So I definitely recommend Save the Cinema. I wouldn't recommend Don't Look Up, but I'm kind of glad that I watched it so that I knew what people were talking about. And yeah, as always, if there is a particular film that you would like me to watch, whether that is streaming or out at the cinema just now-ish when I can get back out to the cinema again, then do let me know in comments. I'm always happy to watch on request. And yes, I will be back with more bookish content for you in the week, so make sure you are subscribed, and I will be back with another movie review for you next weekend, so hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out on either of those videos. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching.